music. I'm sitting here with Joe, K4CO. How's it going, buddy?
I'm alive and kicking, brother. It's a gorgeous day in Colorado again.
Gosh, yeah, I know. I love it. Snow and freezing on Friday, Saturday, and now it's just like 70 something. It's amazing.
Don't move here if you're not from here.
Don't. Seriously, it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible.
We hate the sun. It's 300 days a year. We hate 70 degrees in early March and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's seriously awful. So just don't. But for all of us that are here, yeah, it's a great day. And our next guest, I really like this because, a lot of people, I remember seeing a documentary where a lot of people moved here because of the golf days, and Colorado was huge in golf. And I've been looking forward to this kind of since you booked this, Joe, with this next interview. But if you are listening on K4CORadio.com or the K4CO Radio mobile apps, or one of the many internet radio directories we're on, do know that you can switch to the K4CO Radio social media platforms. We have Facebook, we have LinkedIn, we have YouTube, Instagram, all that fun stuff. And I can't believe we're adding TikTok.
I believe it.
Yeah, I need to hire a middle school kid to tell me what it is. All that fun stuff.
We got Sarah's son. He's not in middle school yet, but he's close. I'm sure he's got it figured out. He's
I'm sure.
7 years old.
He's got everything figured out.
More knowledge than you and I have on all this stuff.
Oh, yeah. You know it. Joe, I'm going to let you introduce our wonderful guest today.
Well, I've been excited, too, because this is the first interview I've done with another highly intelligent, down-to-earth, really cool guy, and I say that because his name is Joe. So if you know anybody named Joe, they're going to have all those qualities. It's just a given, right? It's just a given.
I know two of them. I'm at 50-50. So,
so Mr. Joe Skovgaard, co-owner, right? Co-owner of Clubhouse Work and Golf down in Greenwood Village, 5680 Greenwood Plaza Boulevard, number 120. You're basically on the first floor, right?
Yeah, first floor, all of it.
Yeah. You guys, it's a workspace, but you have 3 golf bays, if I remember
3
right.
Trackman simulators, 450 square foot putting green, full bar, beer on tap.
I don't remember seeing a putting green. I was down there probably 2 months ago. Was it 2-3 months ago now?
Yeah.
I was there?
It's over in the corner.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
why you probably didn't see it.
All right. But I mean, think about that. You want to work, you want to relax for like a half hour at work, just come out of your office and go into a bay and hit a few balls, or go putt and practice your game and get better at it and stuff like that. Because there's some massively nice golf courses in Colorado.
Oh, yeah. That's one thing I thought. It was just like these co-working spots. It's just like you just work. It's just kind of like an office. And it's just like, well, what if you want to get out for a little bit and you don't even need to leave? And I'm curious, for those that don't know, what is I've hit on simulators. What is a Trackman IO simulator?
So Trackman came out with this new model, I want to say about 1.5 years ago. They used to be on the ground. They built them with Doppler radar. So they're mainly used for outside. If you have a confined space, Doppler tends not to work all that great. So they now have a top mount unit that we bought that uses high speed camera, much better suited for indoors. So it's cutting edge technology. Trackman's probably the most well-known brand out there for golf simulators. And they've really invested a ton in their software and their gameplay, because they originally built them for professionals, people to actually dig into the data. Now they're making it more retail and, new golfer friendly, to where it's actually like an experience, and it's more like a video game than a training aid that they were first designed for.
But an accurate video game.
Very accurate, yes.
That's the stuff that blows my mind, is how accurate these cameras are.
Yeah.
But I mean, here's the stuff that makes people thirsty to go to these is, one, most people these days are techies. So there's some serious tech involved in this. And you said video games, so there's a ton of people in this world that are into video games. So you're just kind of lopping a bunch of things together. And along the lines of technology, you said Doppler radar, which I never would have guessed that was a part of it. For me, what are 1 or 2 of the other technology things that you learned about these systems that have kind of blown your mind, or been like, this makes it really interesting?
I mean, admittedly, a lot of it's over my head.
Yeah.
The biggest thing I'm concerned was, is it easy to use and does it work?
Do you have when at the tee, do you have the ball that'll come up automatically?
We don't. It's a nice feature. I think it makes it easier, but we wanted something that was easy, approachable, and is easy to figure out. I think the biggest things with these simulators, it's really good for people that are new to the game. I think anyone who's tried to go out to the golf course and tried to learn the game of golf understands it's kind of intimidating.
Yeah.
You get out there in the course, someone's behind you, maybe, just on your tail the whole time. You don't really know what you're doing. You don't feel comfortable. It's a high pressure situation. When you're on a simulator, you can't lose a golf ball.
Right.
Yeah, maybe someone will crack some jokes at your swing, but it's just a light, fun environment. I see that as one of the best uses of a simulator is it gets more people attracted to the game.
I love how you say when you're new to it. I mean, there's still people on my butt. I've been playing golf many years, and I still feel like I'm not good enough to play golf.
Oh,
but it's fun. I know.
Poor guy.
I know.
Don't be self-conscious.
I'm kind of joking.
No, be
too.
self-conscious because
played
that just
in
gives me
Scotland. I'm
fodder for
decent.
you.
But it's the simulators are just really good for relax because, as you said, yeah, it's very intimidating when you're out there playing by yourself, especially when you're newer to the game. How did you come up with this? And was it your idea? I mean, how did all of this get born?
I would say it was probably more my business partner's brainchild.
Okay.
So going back, I met my business partner, Josh, in 2019. I lived in Chicago for about 6 years after college. I always wanted to come back to Denver. It's where I'm from. It's home for me. I made some really good golf friends out in Chicago. I've been playing since I was a kid, but put it down, a little bit through college, trying to get my career off the ground. Came back to it in Chicago and actually found like a really fun group of guys that I was playing with a couple times a week. Moved back here to Denver. I kind of lost that group. So I was just playing as a single. That can be good or bad.
Right. Depends on who you're joined with.
Yeah, it's a roll of the dice.
Yeah.
So I got tired of that after a while. So I was just searching for a community. I wanted to find people that shared this passion for golf that I have. My wife would tell you that I'm a psycho when it comes to my obsession with golf.
Is that what attracted her to you?
I
You're a
guess
psycho?
So. We won't get into that.
That's a different interview.
But it was just this longing to be around community. So that's how I got introduced to Josh. We met through a little golf community here in Denver. We both worked in software as well, working remotely. Then COVID hits. I was a coworking user for years. My space gets shut down in COVID.
So you've used co-working quite a
Correct.
bit.
Yeah.
And see, that's because then you know what you want, what you don't want. Because
Yeah, he knows the
I got
Yeah.
really good at finding stuff with spaces that I didn't like.
Yeah.
So in COVID,
You figured out a way to do it better.
correct.
Yeah.
We think. So during that time, we were both working from home again. That doesn't work for me. I'm ADD, a squirrel. I get too distracted at home. I really do need a place for me to do work and then my home.
I'm right there with you.
I needed that separation.
Yeah.
So we're doing our winter league. We play a winter league out at South Broadway Country Club, and we're sitting around and saying, man, this sucks. I hate working from home. I hate the isolation. So we were like, let's go rent a warehouse space. My partner had a golf simulator in his garage. He ended up having his second kid at the time, whose bedroom was right above the garage. So his wife, Devin, shut that down pretty quickly. You can't really be
The
hitting
boss
balls at
said
9
no.
p.m. Yeah. So he was like, I got a simulator. Like, let's plop that up. Let's throw some desks in. So it wasn't like this thing that, hey, we're going to go build this business. We were just building something that we wanted. Really.
You just wanted to hang out.
We just wanted somewhere to hang out, to rap with our friends and get work done and have that separation between home life and work life.
All right. Is marrying indoor golf and workspace, is that a novel idea too?
At the time, yeah.
Okay.
I think, it's not like we have anything proprietary here. But it's these two worlds started to, I think, come together for us. It took a long time, I would say. This was back in 2019. I remember vividly Josh calling me on New Year's Eve in 2021. This was after, a good year of kicking this idea around. And more people that started to find out about it were like, well, can you put a desk up for me? Like, you got space for me? Like, can I come?
There you go, man.
And then
like
that
that
grew to
Clubhouse
20
video.
to 20 to 30 people, and we were like, look, should we do this? And he called me and he said, I'm hiring a broker, like I'm in on this, like, are you in? And I was like, yeah, I'm in. Of course, this is a passion of mine with golf, and if we can make some money off it too, then
Okay, I'm
great.
sure this is debatable. Football's the most popular sport in this country. I'm going to go out on a limb and say golf is probably second most popular.
Definitely not to watch, but to play, yes, absolutely. I
mean,
love
shoot,
watching it, but I'm weird that way. So
I mean, we're talking what, $100-200 billion a year industry
yeah.
in golf in this country.
I mean, it's just exploded since COVID.
Because you can, well, I mean, I keep stating the obvious, but you can be 70 years old and play golf. You can't be 70 years old playing football or baseball
right.
or basketball. You know what I mean?
You can, but you might be in a wheelchair at some point.
You're going to be in a wheelchair, or a lot of things. So it's just such a universal sport.
I remember a statistic once that golf gives more to charities and nonprofits and everything than NFL, NBA, and hockey combined.
That doesn't surprise me.
That
Not
I
at all.
never would have known or guessed.
Yeah. Was this difficult to get off the ground? I love the idea where you just wanted to hang out. Suddenly everybody heard about it. It's just like, build me a desk, build me a desk. It's like that clubhouse you built when you were a kid, and then people come over to your house because of it. Of course, the no girls allowed sign outside. You guys allow girls, right?
Yes.
Okay,
We
yeah.
love our women.
Was this hard to get off the ground when you
It
decided
was.
to do it?
I mean, COVID was a weird time for us all, companies, individuals. Took us about 2.5 years to find our first location.
2.5 years.
2.5 years. So you can imagine, we heard no 100 times, probably more.
Right.
Kudos to you guys for persistency.
Yeah, it's one of the things I enjoy about our story, is we could have given up,
Yeah.
100 times equally.
Right.
I think we believed in our convictions enough to say, no, we have to go do this. Like, this is what we were meant to do. Was the feeling. So, deals falling apart at the 1 yard line, getting told we're crazy to do this by other people within the industry.
You're not crazy.
Yeah,
now.
it was a lot of, I don't know, guys, like maybe you should just remove the golf and do co-working, or maybe you should remove the co-working and just do golf.
Well, have there been other people that said, no, you guys are nuts, have come back and said, hey, this is a great idea. I wish I would have been part of it at the beginning.
Maybe not directly to us, but I don't know how they can't think that at this point.
I mean, it's a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
You're just bringing two really important parts of life together: relaxation and a sport and exercise along with work.
Right. Right.
The one thing we all have to do, no matter what.
Sadly,
Yeah. Yeah.
You get to work at the Clubhouse Work and Golf. So,
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't rather be doing anything else. I'll tell you that.
right.
But so yeah, we didn't open our doors to Greenwood Village until December 2024. While we were in that, yes, it felt really painful, and there was a lot of low times within that. I mean, in that same time, I got laid off from my software job. Was having a second kid. It was an odd time in my life with a lot of change going on.
Right.
That's the way it always happens.
It comes in bunches like that,
It
doesn't it?
so does. When you take on something massive like this, it's like 3 other curveballs get thrown your way, and it's the universe saying, okay, you want to do this? I want to see how tough you really are. And you guys,
Right.
kudos to you guys for being really, really tough and sticking to your guns. Most people give up and quit.
Yeah, we knew we had something. And in that time, I think we didn't really feel this until after the fact, but that gave us a lot of time to really learn this industry and study it and go to more co-working spaces and find out what they're doing, talk to their members. So in that time, I think we refined our craft to where if we would have landed the first deal we got, I don't know if we would have the space we have today. So, it all fell together in a certain way. And honestly, at this point, I wouldn't have changed a thing.
For all of our audio listeners, we're sitting here with Joe, co-owner of Clubhouse Work and Golf in Greenwood Village, 5680 Greenwood Plaza Boulevard. So people can picture it. I mean, landmarks around.
Landmark is just north of us. So we're right off Orchard, right on the west side of I-25.
Perfect. 720-903-3733. You can go to clubhouseworkandgolf.com. Beautiful pictures on the website, too. I mean, I really need to stop by this place and see it. I know you have, Joe.
We can go over there.
Yeah.
We're just up the road. Yeah.
Well,
It's about a 2-minute drive.
You know what we got to say is what other things do you have to attract people to the space?
So we have 50 private offices. Those
50?
50.
Wow.
50.
Varying in sizes too.
Correct. So they go all the way up to, 4-person suites, about 200 square feet, down to small single-person offices, 6 meeting rooms, 3 golf simulators, putting green, bar, a couple work lounges.
Bar?
A bar, yes. Not a service bar.
All right, guys,
we
ladies
do
and
have-
guys,
You
a
can't
bar.
You can't golf without a bar or a cart girl or something. I mean, come on.
So we got two beers on taps, sodas. Everything's complimentary to our members.
Well, that's cool.
But the community hub is the golf lounge. We see the congregation start to happen there. We have the morning crowd that likes to get their practice in. Usually by 1-2 o'clock, that place is starting to fill in. You see people on the bays hosting clients, just engaging with their colleagues, or just chatting it up with another member.
So dive into the community aspect, because that's something we talked about before the show. You really dove into it, and that is an aspect about your workspace that I think probably most workspaces don't have. So dive into the community side of it.
I'd say it all starts with hospitality. I would never call us a co-working company. We're a hospitality company at the end of the day. We show up curious. We show up with care. We want people to feel a certain way when they're in our space. When you show up like that, it reciprocates throughout the whole space to where we've built this culture of support and community just by the way our fantastic team shows up, that others want to support, other members that are there. You can, obviously we do a bunch of community events, happy hours, and, we do watch parties for all the majors, networking stuff. But if you don't have that culture in place, nobody's going to show up.
Well, do you have a watch party going on this weekend? Because I'm from Jacksonville. So TPC Players is going on this weekend,
They will be
right?
on the TVs. I'm sure we'll have a couple people very tuned into that.
Yeah.
Always for the Masters, we have a good crowd that comes out. That's the real start of the golf season, I think, in a lot of people's minds. But it's a credit to our team that we have there. They're fully bought into what we're doing. I really feel that they care just as much about the business as Josh and I do, which that's hard to find, I think. So it starts with our hospitality as a service. And when I say hospitality, I think a lot of people think of like acts or, you know their coffee order, their name. Like that's just an act. Like hospitality at its base is just a feeling. Do you want people to feel supported, heard, understood? That's what it's about for us. And if we can create an environment like that, it's infectious and everybody wants to show up that same way.
Jacob, our producer, did alert me to a question that we have on social media. Do people need to reserve ahead of time before they want to use the simulator? Is the golf open to anyone outside of members? How does that work?
So for members, it's unlimited. They do need to reserve it, but it doesn't cost them anything. They can use it as much or as little as they like. It is open to the public, so our meeting rooms are fully bookable by anybody. We do require a meeting room booking if you're going to do a simulator booking. So if say you need to, you have a client engagement, you don't want to do it at a coffee shop, come book one of our rooms for an hour,
wow.
and then say, hey, we're going to now, let our shoulders off, take our jackets off, and go hit the simulator for an hour. So that is the only stipulation for public bookings is that you have to have a meeting room. We just try to keep, we don't want just people coming in to use the golf. We want it to serve as the community hub, right? So,
Right, exactly. So you guys, 2.5 years to find this place, finally completely open December 2024. And you and Josh have known each other for a while, right?
It's crazy to say. Yeah, we've known each other for 7 years now.
Okay, so going from just friends who loved golf and everything to business partners, how was that?
Yeah, we'd heard, the stories of guys, this is going to be a journey for you and it's going to shift.
Right.
I think, Josh is a little older than me, a little more seasoned, I'll call him, not in a bad way. I think he was in entrepreneur mode from the get-go, just by kind of our duties to the company and the roles that we were playing.
Right.
When I first started this, I had this vision of, okay, I'll keep my, cushy software job and then do this on the side. Get laid off. I think that vision started to change as the closer we got. I always think about the famous Mark Cuban quote of, man, I love having part-time competition. Like, he's like, I love that competition. That really started to wear on me after a while, to where there was a moment in time when I had a job lined up. It ended up getting pulled for me like a week before I was supposed to start. Take that for what it is, but
that's just kind of the world saying you have to do this.
Yeah, I was just going to say it's the universe telling you go in this direction, because I mean, we've all been there. The universe told you to start K4CO. I personally think the universe told me to move from Jacksonville Beach community to the mountains, because this is where my heart was. You gotta follow your heart, and universe works in mysterious ways, and I'm thankful it does.
It's funny how it all worked out. Similar to how long and odd it took us to open this space. So that was really, I think, a key moment for me personally, to where I just said, you know what? I'm just going to jump into this thing head first. I'm not going to go back to my software career. This is my career now.
Right.
I think that's when the gears really started turning for me. And I think that's when our friendship started to shift to partnership. I think we make a great team because we complement each other. Josh is really good at things that I hand up am awful at. And I think that also works in the other way. We always say, he's the head and I'm the heart of Clubhouse. He's guiding us to where he thinks we need to go, and I trust him wholly. And then, I see myself as kind of the heartbeat of the community. How we show up day in, day out. What are we doing to engage people and to have them have the same curiosity we have about them, with the other members in the space. So, we have our disagreements, as every business, partnership has, but I think we work really well together. And at the end of the day, we both care about this community as much as anything outside of, our families.
Right.
It's almost turned into our second family.
You mentioned earlier, I want to kind of touch on this, that you take a lot of feedback from members. If there's problems or any ideas or anything like that from members, you guys really like to go with that feedback. Can you share an example of some type of change or some type of amenity you added because members asked for it, and how you guys kind of evolved?
Yeah. We try not to bombard them with too many surveys, but it's part of that support culture I think we've built. Is our ears are always open. We believe in a lot of radical candor, within our own team, but also with our members. If you don't like something or something's bugging you, we encourage you to come tell us. This being, our first location, we're still very much in learning mode. This was always just a proof of concept here in Greenwood Village. So part of that was a responsibility to let our members craft, what does this space mean to you? How can it best serve you? How can it help you reach your goals? At the end of the day, that's our job. Is we want our members to be a vessel for them to grow their business, grow their network, whatever that looks like for them. That's what we're here for. Getting to the simulator bookings, I would say is one. When we first opened, it was freewheeling. There was no reservations. It was just walk up and play. I don't think that was super conducive for professionals who really, need to structure their day out.
Right.
So that was a change we made recently. It's been super well received, thankfully. Another side to that is we're very cautious about making too many changes too quickly.
Right.
We want it to be methodical, well thought out, and really have buy-in from everyone before we just make knee-jerk reactions.
Right.
Gotta listen to the customer. That's what you guys do.
Absolutely. I mean, they're everything for us, right? Like it's their space. They make the community what it is. So, we always think of it's more their space than our space.
And I love how even outside of just a workspace, I mean, this is a space where you can have business meetings and, just bring in, as long as you rent a room and everything like that, you can have the golf center and simulator, check them out, see how it works. And I take it, so in business for a little over a year right now, business is going really well. How about like events? I mean, I'm just spitballing like different partners, business partners, nonprofits even, that can come in and use your space.
Yeah. So we are open for public events. So you can reserve the whole golf lounge if you like. That's starting after 4 p.m. We don't want to infringe on, our members' access, but it's a fantastic facility just to bring people together, we found. So we've done everything from networking events to client appreciation, fundraisers. We lean towards, corporate gatherings as opposed to like private gatherings. But to see people's reactions and just the memories I think it creates, like that's the one thing we constantly hear from our event goers is, man, people are still talking about that night, even though it was like a month ago. Which that's kind of all you want in an event space, right? Is you just want it to be memorable. You want it to be easy. Again, going back to the team we have around us, they always go above and beyond. It's impressive to see just how involved they are with those day of events. It goes back to hospitality, right? That's like one of the things we really preach is we want people to feel like this was a memorable experience and not just something that they had to spend a lot of money on and get people together and then nobody talks about it after.
How big of a party can you handle?
We can fit 100 people in there. Best make sure you're comfortable with people if it's 100. We've kind of found that sweet spot is like 50 to 70 to where it really feels filled out, but you're not, cramped up. But it can, for fire code, we can't go over 100 people.
Right. Just for all of our audio people, again, if you're watching online, you see this information scrolling down. We're interviewing Joe, who's the co-owner of Clubhouse Work and Golf. 5680 Greenwood Plaza Boulevard in Greenwood Village. You can go to clubhouseworkandgolf.com. A little bit more of the community. We actually have another question on social media regarding the community. Are you partnered with any nonprofits?
We work really closely with the Colorado Golf Association.
Okay.
Who they're one of the best state associations in the country, in my opinion. They have phenomenal junior programs. The junior programs that they've built here, I think, are second to none. So we contribute a lot to them. They have a foundation that really spreads out those funds. So all the way from first tee, we love getting involved in junior programs. Again, going back to like an earlier point, I think we're a really good space to get more people involved in this game. And that starts with kids, right? So the more we can support getting more kids access to golf,
right,
the better we are.
Absolutely. Are you good at golf, Joe? There's my answer.
I'd be better off closing my eyes and swinging.
Was there, I don't think we mentioned this. I mean, was there a moment, whether it be at an event or from a member or anything like that, where you just kind of really knew that this was your calling?
Yeah. There's one early on that comes to mind. This was probably the second week we were open. We were blessed to have some really incredible founding members that, got in office without even really seeing it, being sold on just the idea. And we had a first happy hour that second week, and it was just eye-opening and actually very rewarding to see people who just 14 days ago were complete strangers, didn't even know each other existed, to in 2 weeks time they were mixing it up and socializing and talking like they had known each other for years. So that was this just like, wow, like this is what we imagined this would be like.
It's what we talked about before the meeting, community.
And yeah, it was such a big driver for us to do this. Another one more recently was I think this was Friday, and the Olympic hockey games were going on. This was the semifinals, and the space was just bumping this day. And everyone was watching the Canada game, and then the USA game came on, and I mean, you could just feel the energy. People who had maybe never watched a hockey game in their lives were so incredibly into this. And you know, if they were at home watching this game, like I don't think they would have been that into it as they were.
Well, crowds get excited.
Oh yeah.
You know, clients of members meeting other members, and you could just feel the connection happening in real time. And we had one member come up to us and they straight up asked us, they were like, "Did you picture it being like this?" And we were like, "Yeah, but that doesn't make it not surprising, but like, wow." It was definitely like a wow moment of like, this is really cool. And these are people that, you know, in normal walks of life may not ever know each other. And the fact that we were able to create this little family, I'll call it, I know it's cliche and cheesy, but like it truly is that, of people that share passion for their work, for creating relationships with actual depth and not having to be transactional relationships, which I think anyone in modern business has felt that the transactional nature of doing business nowadays. I think it's really eroding to just your overall happiness. And in that moment, it was kind of like, I felt like I had found like my calling in life was, you know, that same club that Josh and I met through. I was actually the president of that club for a time. Very thankless job. I love all the memory. It's a great group and we have a lot of fun, but it's definitely a thankless job. I didn't get paid for it or anything like that.
Right.
But I really like enjoyed it. I did it because I enjoyed it. I enjoyed bringing people together and seeing, you know, another little community just grow and thrive. So now I get to do that in a role that, you know, might make me some money sometime. And it's just been, I wouldn't rather be doing anything else. And I really feel like I'm in the perfect spot of where like I should be.
Well, your hard work has paid off, and I won't forget to ask this question. And you guys are expanding, but I wanted to kind of dive into this one a little bit more. It was like, what problems are you solving for your members?
I'd say, to paint with like a broad brush here, it's giving them an inspiring environment. You know, we're a vessel for connection and a place where people can feel like they can truly be their most productive self. For some people, that means having a place that they can host and bring clients to and entertain. For others, that means I need a place that isn't my home with the dog barking and the kids screaming at me. A place that makes you want to show up to and be the best professional that you could be. So seeing members like use the space actually to their advantage in a bunch of different ways is cool and rewarding, and is incredibly validating to see that, yeah, like there's more to this than just putting a simulator into a space. It's creating that culture. It's creating a space that people are proud to actually like bring people to. And I think when you think of that from a business owner's perspective, it sets the tone before they even say a word. Like when you bring someone into our space versus if you meet them at the coffee shop, it's a very different dynamic. Like you've already turned the dynamic into an advantage to whatever it is that you're trying to do. If you're trying to close a deal, if you're trying to get a new client, it just puts them in a standing to where they can be confident in what they're selling because they brought someone to this place that they're probably, you know, taken back by a little bit. Like we see it all the time, the reaction of when people step into the space for the first time, they're like, wow, like I didn't know anything like this existed.
That's interesting.
I absolutely have to go because, well, I mean, I love golf. First of all, I love golf simulators, but I find it very just fascinating. Like, how do you strike the balance between fun and focus where, you know, members can feel productive and still feel like they're in a social club, social gathering?
We hear this all we get comments like this all the time on social media of, does anyone actually get any work done there?
Right.
And, you know, there's been a lot of studies done by, you know, Gallup and other, you know, organizations like that of when you can break up your day and just have little moments of release, whether it be going on a walk or going to the range, as we talked, like that takes a lot of time out of your day, to where now it's like, okay, this is detrimental to my productivity. Where if it's just across the hall, it gives you that reset. It gives you just these moments of enjoyment. Like, you don't have to choose between great work and great life. Like, those things can live in harmony. But you need a space that intentionally is designed for that.
Right.
And that's what we set out to make, because, again, going back to building something that we wanted, this was a real pain that we had in our own professional lives of, man, I just feel too strung out. And like, I can't get moments of enjoyment when I'm working at home, because guess what? The dishwasher needs to be emptied, or the grass needs cut, or whatever it is that's distracting you at home. You lose those moments when you don't have that separation.
If you're really stressed out, go smack a ball.
Exactly.
It's a good stress relief.
It is. Totally is. Get to hit something.
But I'd say the entertainment side of that's the coolest way I think I see the golf getting used, is it just gets people to take their guard down. Getting back to that transactional nature of business. I hate that style of business, to where if you can get people talking about things that aren't directly related to what you're trying to get out of them, they're going to trust you more, right? Like it's strengthening that relationship on stuff that doesn't have to do with business. The more you can do that, the better clientele you're going to have.
It's that getting to know them as a person.
Yeah,
because
you look at them as a person, not as a client or you know a prospect.
Right, exactly. You do business with people, not really businesses. I always say, it's just like, if I'm not going to do business with somebody I don't gel with. How do you gel with them? You get to know who they are as a person.
I'm kind of surprised he invited me to come into the K4CO family.
Yeah, well, I'm still questioning it, Joe. No, I love your bald head. That's why. I want to go over the core workspace amenities, and correct me if I'm wrong here. So it shows 50 private offices, like you said, 6 meeting rooms, plus additional conference rooms and soundproof phone booths.
Yeah, these are really cool, actually. We have 2 of them right next to a simulator bay. You've heard it. If you've ever heard the crack of a driver indoors, it's not quiet.
Or when it hits a screen.
Or when it hits the screen. You can't hear anything in these phone booths. It's pretty incredible. And we tested this thoroughly when we originally put them in there.
I bet people are like, when you tell them these are soundproof booths, they're probably like, whatever. They're sitting right next to the golf thing. And then they walk in there and like, I'll be darned, he was right.
You'd probably go in there and do an Ace Ventura, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. Absolutely, man.
Shutting the door.
I bring my son in there sometimes, and he finds them hilarious, because he'll close the door and he'll yell, and I can't hear him, and he can't hear me.
Oh, we're definitely gonna have to test these out. All right. Of course, high-speed Wi-Fi, secure internet through the space, 24/7 access to the workspace suite for members.
Yeah, so we have two different suites. They're just across the hall from each other. One is our social side, so it has all the golf simulators, bar, meeting rooms. The other side is offices, another quiet kitchen lounge. We really wanted that separation, not just noise, but I think that bifurcation makes a lot of sense, to where people can break up their days and find the space. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to quietly host someone? Are you trying to just put your head down and work? Have you had a long day and you need some social interaction before you go home and deal with 2 small kids or whatever it is that you got going on? I think it creates just a lot of variety. Because as you know, like, your work days are never the same. Right. Some days you're feeling good and you want to talk to people. Some days hey, I just want to get in here and work and leave. And that's okay. We have spaces for all of that.
I do like the idea that you guys are across the hall. You're split like that, because I work from home and I got to get myself sometimes to get up and just kind of clear my head, go out, go for a bike ride, or just go do some other task. But it makes a lot of sense to have them in different spaces, because just going for a walk and visually giving yourself different stimulation, 1, clears your mind, but 2, I found in life, like, if I'm sitting on a problem at my desk and I can't think of a solution, I go up and do something else. Voila, the solution comes to me almost every time. So
changing your environment, everything.
Changing your environment, changing the stimulus.
It's the biggest reason why I became a co-working user in the first place, was I needed a place that I could shift my environment. I'm not going to say everyone's like that, but what you have around you. I mean, take this to your social circle. Like the people you surround yourself with are everything, whether it's business, personal. The same thing applies to your workspace. If you have a space that you don't like going to, or you just are kind of, like I'm not inspired at all, like that's going to reflect on the work you put out there.
Very much so.
And you know, this day and age, you got to put your best foot forward because there's competitions everywhere. Modern business shifts so rapidly that if you're not on your toes, you're going to get left behind.
Mm-hmm. All right, we got to switch gears. So I mentioned before about growth and expansion. Where are you guys looking to go?
So we are opening up our second location in Cherry Creek
Already.
The Biz
Already.
District? The Biz District? Or
we're right at Colorado and Cherry Creek, pretty much.
Okay.
You know those gold buildings that are on Colorado?
Yeah.
Those.
All right.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you told me about that.
So
Yeah.
that'll be opening up late summer 2026. We don't have a firm open day yet, but it'll be sometime around August, September. A little faster than I think we would have intended, but
It's a year and a half, really. Yeah.
yeah, we were looking more probably like 2 years, but
Right.
look, we're sold out at Greenwood Village. An opportunity presented itself, and you know, thinking back to, I think we went back and forth on like, should we do this? Is this too quickly? Are we ready for this? And the same feelings of like, look, we've already dove head in, so why would we stop now?
Right.
Let's keep the momentum. We can make sense of it. So we know that this location is perfect for something like this.
Are you going to make it a very, very similar replica of Greenwood Village, or are you going to like change it up quite a bit?
There's some things that are changing. So we'll have the offices up on the penthouse floor of the building. So incredible mountain views up there.
There you go.
They'll have the whole floor to themselves. So that'll have 65 offices, something like that. You know, co-working lounges, kitchen up there, a bar, you know, beers on tap, anything you want. Then the golf lounge will actually be on the ground floor, and there's a really nice atrium lobby that connects the two towers. So the golf lounge will be down there, which is exciting because there's a lot more foot traffic in that building. To where now, you know, I think we're looking at more of a building amenity. We'll have 5 Trackman simulators. Design is a little more elevated. So while I think the bones are similar, there's some iterations that we want to improve on, just the layout, how things flow. That is just going to be better for events. We're going to be able to have a little more of that retail presence, I think, for people that want to use the space that are in the building. Obviously, we want to keep our members happy as well and create a nice exclusive experience for them. But we want to bring people more, and I think it's an opportunity to grow this little community that we've created into something that's bigger than just our membership base.
You picked a good spot, right in
Yeah.
Glendale. I mean, and for the overflow down in Greenwood Village, it's 15, 20-minute drive. So if people want to be part of it, it's not far of a drive.
Not at all. What, if any, I mean, you know, you talked about the layout, but what about the concept, things that, you know, you learned from Greenwood Village that you're applying to the new location up there? I mean, because there's a part of it, you kind of said you kind of wanted to mirror everything, but you also want a little bit of difference.
Yeah, one thing specifically was creating more just flexible open workspaces.
Okay.
I think with Greenwood Village, we were a little tied by just what was available to us. We had a little more, it's just more space up in Cherry Creek. So realizing that even if someone has a private office, sometimes they just want to get out of their office and go work around people. They don't have to take a call, or they're in that social mood that particular day where they're just like, I just want to talk to people. So we have 3 open like work lounges on that 13th floor for this one, as opposed to just one at Greenwood Village. So just a bigger breadth of, you know, whether it's workstations or soft seating, obviously, you know, meeting rooms, phone booths, that'll all be there. But having just more variety, I would say.
I like it. For all the audio people, we're speaking with Joe, co-owner of Clubhouse Work and Golf in Greenwood Village. Gonna be opening one in Cherry Creek, but you can go to clubhouseworkandgolf.com, check it out. And a year and a half, you're opening your second location. I mean, are you planning on even thinking of expanding more than that? I mean,
we got plans of world domination.
World domination. I like it.
There you go.
That's what I wanted
He's a
to
good
hear.
guy to know.
Yeah, we don't want to grow too fast, obviously.
Right.
But yeah, I don't think this concept only works in some cities and not. I mean, connection and community that knows no bounds, right? I think and this is an offshoot, but what COVID did to us as a society, I think it caused incredible damage. I think there's barriers that are still around today. Maybe not people wearing masks or stay-at-home orders. It's more subtle. Operators and companies have been, this new status quo is the hybrid model. And for the record, I support the hybrid model. I think it's a good thing to give people more flexibility in their lives. But the other side of that I think gets overlooked is you can't trade flexibility for isolation. And the more that spaces realize that and realize, people still need to come together.
Very much so.
Talking about Gallup, they released their workforce report a couple months ago, and they dove pretty deep into this. Like, what does this new hybrid model mean for the workforce? How is employee satisfaction and happiness being affected? And there's direct correlation to if employees are disengaged, isolated, that affects their happiness. It affects their loyalty to your company more than anything. So I think it's the job of business owners, space operators to actually create spaces that people want to go to and want to show up to. Because people aren't going back to boring offices. They're just not.
No.
But if you create a place that's interesting, that, socializing happens, and that idea of merging second and third space together, those are the places that people are going to go to. You're already seeing that happen across a bunch of different markets.
Right.
So, yeah, we want 3 or 4 of these in every major metro that you can probably think of.
That is world domination.
I like it. I absolutely like it.
Talked about different sizes of the spaces that people can rent. Well, what about membership levels? I don't think we talked about membership levels.
I don't think we did.
No membership levels.
So we only have, it's pretty simple. We just have 2 tiers. You can have a private office, or you can just have what we call a social membership. So private office, you have a door, you have a key to, that space is yours. You can hang whatever you want. You can paint within reason, we do, we're kind of like an HOA in that sort. It's like, you can do what you want, but you got to approve it. We have to approve it.
You have to like it. It's got to be tactful.
Yes, it has to be tasteful.
Yeah.
And then just our social membership, which just gets you, same thing, 24 access to the space, unlimited golf, as much as you want. And that's pretty much it. We do have virtual mail memberships as well. That doesn't come with all the benefits of like a social membership. But if someone just needs say the home office works for you and you don't mind it, but you don't want your home address listed on Google. It's a crazy world we live in these days.
Right.
You can come have your address with us, organize your mail, and just gives you kind of a digital presence that when someone Googles you, they see, oh, well, they have a business park address. They must be serious.
What's the length of a membership? A year? 2 years?
We start
Less?
at 6
More?
months.
6 months.
6 months.
Wait, you told me that most workspaces don't work that way, right?
Correct.
So that's a differentiator, being 6 months, because that's most everybody else is at least a year.
Most of our members are on a year, 12 month.
I mean, your competition.
Oh yeah,
how they're
competitors.
doing.
Yeah.
It's no less than
Talk
a year.
about another thing that people said we were nuts for trying.
Yes, that's why I remembered it.
That was one of the big things that we heard. They were like, this isn't going to work. We did that intentionally because we didn't want this revolving door of members. I think that erodes community, and it erodes that trust, and that, these are people that I want to support also, because they're going to be there to support me as well. That was the main thinking behind it, was we want people that are committed to being here and showing up and helping us all rise together. and it's worked out. You know, I think we were skeptical on it also, just hearing, you know, at some point you do start to listen to the chatter that's around you, but I'm very glad we stuck to our convictions again, because I don't think people scoff at it, because it makes sense if you think about it of, yeah, we want people here for the long term. And look, if you're looking for an office for a month, there's plenty of other spaces out there that you can find that.
Right.
We're not going to be one of those spaces. We want a place that people are in here a lot, and you see those familiar faces, because that, again, it gets back to building the culture that we want to build.
And it makes sense with everything that you have too. I mean, once again, for all of our listeners, I mean, 50 private office, 6 meeting rooms, 3 Trackman IO golf simulators, full on-site fitness center.
Yes, we have a awesome gym in the building that's downstairs. Our members have full access to that.
On-site showers, locker style conveniences, bar. I mean, this is just kind of like a workplace and a fun place all wrapped up in one.
Kind of like K4CO.
Kind of like that a little bit. We don't have a bar though. Maybe we'll just have to go to Clubhouse Work and Golf for that aspect.
We do make a joke that we're just kind of like adult daycare.
I like it. Well, definitely.
Sarah's going to be sending you over there every day.
I hope so. You said that your partner Josh was more the entrepreneur mindset and everything like that. You were wanting to kind of keep your job at first, but then just got thrown into this, which you love. I'm curious, one, how you're liking it as the entrepreneur mindset, and two, what advice would you give yourself years ago that if you could go back to when this was all happening?
Yeah. I mean, to your first question, I've said this and I'll say it again. I wouldn't rather be anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
I come from a family of entrepreneurs, so I think seeing that control over your destiny was something I always wanted. I didn't know how that was going to come to me in my own life until this started.
Right.
It's, while, you know, there's a lot of responsibility that comes with that. But I like having control over, you know, my decisions and what ultimately happens. Like when I got laid off, I didn't get laid off because of anything I did. I got laid off because my company made bad business decisions. They had to lay off 25% of their workforce.
Right.
2 months before I'm supposed to go on maternity leave. So that's when that moment was like, yeah, I'm done doing this.
Right.
I'm done.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna fail, I'm gonna fail by my own mistakes and my decisions, not other people's decisions.
Yeah, I think
That's what I like the most about it.
all 3 of us probably relate to that. The last job I had before I started off my own was working for somebody that was just a complete jerk. So, you know what? I'd rather try and fail than have to deal with this anymore.
Right. And be in charge of your own, destiny and everything.
Yeah.
What advice do you think you would
As far
give?
as advice,
Yeah.
this one's kind of obvious, but it's worth saying, is you got to find what you're passionate about. And I don't mean that in saying, I love skiing, so I'm going to go work in skiing. There's always stuff you don't want to do. Like, doesn't matter what job you have.
Right.
But for me, like, I've found my passion. Sure, there's golf, and that's great. But my professional passion is being of service to people. Seeing them like reach their goals and, you know, meet people that they wouldn't want to meet and just find meaning in their life. Like, that's incredibly rewarding to me. So that's where, even if there's stuff I don't want to do, I know, like, yeah, you're being of service. And if I can have that, I'm happy. So find what you're passionate about, pursue that. Because if you don't have that, you're not going to, because being an entrepreneur is a lot of work. So if you're not passionate about it, there's no way you're going to work as hard as you need to work to succeed and make it last. Another big one that, and this is relevant, I was just talking to a friend about this the other day. He's kind of at this crossroads, similar to where I was at a couple of years ago. He has a startup, he's launched it, he has a really thriving career in his other life, and he's like, I don't know what to do. He's like, should I go and do this full time, or should I keep doing this and try to keep this career and make as much money as I can in that and then go do this? And I just asked him, I was like, well, do you believe in it? He's like, yeah, I believe in it. I was like, are you passionate about it? Like, do you enjoy it? And he's like, yeah. I was like, well, okay, if you're answering yes to all these questions, like, why wouldn't you?
Right.
If you believe in something and you stick to your convictions, and you know, you're only doing yourself a disservice if you don't just jump in and do it. Yes, it's obviously scary and there's a lot of risk to that, but man, good things don't come easy.
Right.
So at some point you have to take that risk and believe in yourself, believe in what you're doing. And if you do, like, and you work hard, like, you're gonna succeed.
Well, 20 years from now, if you don't do it, the R word comes in. Regret.
Right. Exactly. And everybody, I think most entrepreneurs that I've talked to, they said, yeah, you get the sleepless nights, you get probably years off of your life, but man, you wouldn't change anything for it. And I love how you probably have a lot of entrepreneurs that use your workspace. And so there's that real, I think one of my favorite things with going out and talking to other business owners and entrepreneurs is, you know, the ones that have been doing it for years that remember how it was starting it. Because when I started this, absolute stress and sleepless nights, and they're still there. But
He used to have colored hair, not white hair.
exactly. But having a place where there are like-minded people and they know what you're going through.
Yeah, it's one of the things I expected, but I didn't know exactly how it would feel. But being around other entrepreneurs every day, man, what does that do for our motivation? Right. Seeing them use their creativity. I always say, like, if you're trying to be careful and you're trying to avoid risks, you're killing creativity.
Right.
And that's, you know,
I think you're inviting more bad things to happen too.
I agree.
Yep. And
it's one of the biggest tools in your arsenal is your creativity, especially if you're a small business owner. You have to think creatively.
Yeah.
Because you're often competing against people that have more resources. So how are you going to beat them if they have more resources than you? You have to think creatively. You have to be in an environment that's going to, as Joe, you were saying, like, change your perspective on things.
Mm-hmm.
Do what other people aren't doing.
Do what other people aren't doing.
Yep.
Stick yourself out there.
It's funny you say that. There's a book that I read a couple years ago. Josh and I both read it actually at the same time. It's called Unreasonable Hospitality. I'm going to butcher his last name. Will Guiarda? Anyways, not the point. He was the owner of 11 Madison Park. Unsure if you're familiar with them. They won Best Restaurant in the World in 2017.
In the world.
In the world. Just think about that. He wrote this book around that journey of what it took to get there. It's a fascinating book. I encourage everyone to read it, especially if you're a business owner, you're managing people, or you're trying to build a team. And his whole point of the book is it's about who you're surrounding yourself with. So the team he was at, this whole story is, it's not even about him. It's about the people that he had around him, empowering them to care about what he cared about as much as he did.
Mm-hmm.
And he
That's
had
not easy.
No, it's not. I think it's the hardest thing that is facing us as we start to expand is, okay, how do we build the team around us that's going to care as much as we care, to where we can empower them and they act as us, right? Everyone, act as an owner is such a buzzword around business, but that's incredibly hard to attain. And it goes from, I think our culture internally and externally, like with our members, it's the same culture. It's, we want support and we want people to care about this space, and care about the people that are around them as much as they care about themselves. And now I'm forgetting the point. Oh, but he had a great line in there. He took his team to a 3-star dinner in New York City. And at the end, he's sitting there and everyone's talking about, oh, I loved this, or I loved that, or they did this really well. And then he gets in and he's like, I don't care about any of that. He's like, what did they not do? Mm-hmm. And he found those things that they weren't doing and then went above and beyond. Some would call it unreasonable. He went to unreasonable lengths to create these moments of magic, he calls them, that no one else was experiencing anywhere else. So incredibly great book. If you're thinking about starting a business or you need to build a team, go read this book.
I like it. I'm going to definitely try it out.
That's what makes networking and talking to other business owners so much fun, is like their perspective. Mm-hmm. What new thing are they going to bring to your world?
Right.
Like, could be as simple as a book.
And as an entrepreneur and business owner, you can bring that to your book, and you can't if you're working with somebody else. That's why people try to do it. So
Maybe I'll write a book one day.
maybe I'll read that, Joe.
Only if it has 10 words per page and it's like 25 font.
It better be a coloring book.
Is there going to be a whole chapter on being a miserable Bengals fan?
Hey!
Thank you.
Hey.
I don't mean that mean. I do feel bad for Bengals fans at
I
times.
feel bad.
It is what it is. I think we lost Trey Hendrickson, but whatever. He played one game this year and got paid $19 million. That doesn't suck if you're Trey
Good for him.
Hendrickson.
No, yeah.
So who knows? If we get a defense, maybe we'll be good. But the Broncos, I'm first and foremost Bengals, then Broncos, and then Jackson.
Oh, so you're especially tortured then.
Well, the Broncos made it to what?
The championship,
yeah.
the NFC championship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
can say
and we
that.
should have won it.
yeah, you
But,
should have if it didn't snow.
Well, no, if we just went for, first of all, if we went for the 3 points
Yes.
instead of trying to go for that first down, it's the first quarter. I don't know what, it was the first time our coach decided to, grow a sack. I don't know what was going on. Joe, thank you so much for coming
Appreciate
in.
it, guys.
Absolutely love it. Check it out. Clubhouse Work and Golf. It's right here in Greenwood Village. And go to the website, really look at it. It's absolutely amazing. Private offices to meeting rooms to 3 Trackman IO golf simulators, 450 square foot indoor putting green, golf lounge, full on-site fitness center, gym. This is just a big guys playhouse that they can also work and get all their stuff done. So check it out. They have 2 different levels of memberships, and if you did catch the end of this interview, rewind it, listen to it, and reach out to Joe at Clubhouse Work and Golf. Thanks a lot for coming in.
Yeah,
Really
thanks for having me,
appreciate
guys.
it.
Much
Thank you.
appreciated.
Stay tuned, everybody. We have the afternoon mix of music ahead right now to kind of amp up your afternoon with, of course, a third of the rotation local Colorado artists. And at 5:30, get your tongue salivating because we have Moxicello coming in for an interview, and they're bringing some drinks as well. So 2 wonderful
I might come
ladies.
back.
You should, Joe. You absolutely should. The Lauras. They are the owners of Moxicello.
The Lauras?
The Lauras. You have to do it.
I got a niece named Laura, so I know they're cool.
Yes, absolutely cool. So listen to that on K4CO Radio, or that's also going to be streamed on our K4CO Radio social media platforms as well. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have an absolutely wonderful rest of the day.
Thanks, everybody.